So one thing that I was also very much looking forward to was when everyone went back into the room. Y'all were ready to fight. Like Brandon's group, you know, posted up, but
Hey, let's
but not like
Post up.
yeah, like not ready to fight, but it was like you like yo, what?
It was like, what?
Like it was amazing to me. It's like yo, yeah, you just like bonded with your partners with dancing. Within 30 minutes, you hate each other.
I will. You like there were like some people that were like, all right, yeah, they hate us. Let's go fuck them up. And then there was also like some of the people who were like, yeah, we didn't want to choose red, but it's okay. We still love you guys. It was very sweet.
Okay. So tell me what was on your mind when you guys went back into the room.
Oh, I mean, going back into the room, I kind of sort of imagined some form of like aggression because the way they were playing was a little aggressive, and so we were so we were ready. So like I had that in my mind already. So we were all like, let's just go in there and like gaslight them. So like if they win, we're gonna be like, well, we wanted to be united. We were about unity, which technically was the point of the game. So who won?
Also, we were united in the beginning.
United in anger.
Both picking red. We were both picking red.
Yeah, we were.
Then you changed our unity up.
Because we were testing you. We were testing you, and you failed. And you failed. Also, here's the thing. I thought, like, when you were, basically, you separated the partners from each other into the two groups. So I was like, wait, why are you separating the partners? It's like, why are you separating the partners? You had them together this whole time to bond, have them to go to lunch together, and then all of a sudden, you're just breaking them up. And I'm like, what's happening? What's happening? There's something else here.
I will say there was one twist that I thought might happen. I was like, why is he telling us their answers and he's telling them our answers first? I was like, I bet you, what if the whole twist is he's writing opposite of what we say in the squares, but telling him, like saying like, oh yeah, they chose black when we told him red, just to piss the other one off and see what happens. And I was like, that might be. And then they're like, no, because he's putting it in an Excel sheet. It's happening live. And I was like, you're right. Damn it. But it might be. It might be, all right? And they're just like, I don't know. And I was like, yeah, either that or I'd mentioned it before. The upstairs. The damn numbers. Because he was like, okay, what did the rules say again? To get the most points? And I was like, well, if you're negative anything, you're still negative. And then Joey and I started having a conversation. And Joey's like, yeah. He's like, if you have no apples, then you can't give away apples. And I was like, yeah, so whether it's -1 or -100, you're still negative. So what if it doesn't matter? And then we all just like, and then Joey's like, yeah. And then we started getting really into it. And Joey was like, yeah, I remember in math class, like anything times 0 is 0.
I was like, now
And I was like,
my math teacher once said, everything multiplied by 0 is still 0.
and I was like, that's a fucking fact. You are right. Absolutely. And I was like, wait, that might be the twist, is that like, regardless, we're all gonna fucking lose. Whether it's -1 or -2,000, we're still losers. So I was like, that's the point. That's what we're trying to get to. And then it wasn't.
So you guys were talking about math in there, like specifically. And for Noelle's group, we were talking about game theory.
Game
We
theory.
were not talking about game theory. It's essentially either playing to win or playing not to lose.
It doesn't make sense. Just kidding. That was Gogi. But
I will say, there was a point where, oh, thank you. There was a point where we were like, what? Our group thought the same thing. We thought, what if Emeroy is saying one thing and then he's changing it and then we see it? So then we're like, so is it us against him? So do we need to jump him? So as a unit. So if we jump him and they jump him, then it's like all of us against Emeroy. I think that's it. That's probably it.
so
But was that the point of the game? I'm kidding.
no.
you know what that is? That's just PTSD from all the shit that Emeroy does to us that we were like, actually, it's not even a game for us. It's his fucking game. He's trying to screw us over. And we're part of his joke.
He's playing us.
PTSD. PTSD, everyone.
That's what was telling us the rules.
I didn't tell you guys the rules. And like I mean, there was the option, like I'd like that you guys asked if you guys were going to be in the same room, but again, like the whole thing just of me walking in between. Again, that's how I experienced the game. It helped prolong the time, but it also creates this narrative of why is there a middleman? Or like is like which creates this again conspiracies to change that whole changes that whole thing. But also like it just I wanted to see how each group reacted, because sometimes I'd hear you guys have your decision before, but I would stay with a group and then I would go to the other group, tell and say the response, and I wanted to see how they would react, if they would keep their decision or change it before finalizing things. Yeah. I was like, okay, still red, fuck them. That's what I would hear.
I thought you were gonna stay in the cabin with Alondra's group, and you had me staying with Noelle's group with my laptop, and we were like, doing the collaborative like on the Google Sheets thing, and I'm like, so why is he? Wait, am I supposed to do this? And I thought you were just gonna text me one thing pick, and I just put it on there.
Yeah, me too.
And then I'm like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, you're walking between. Okay, so you're gonna text me? You're like, yeah, and then you just come back and you're like, okay, they picked black. Whoa, okay.
Yeah, it was because
So you did play a trick, didn't it?
no, I didn't plan a trick on you guys. Is because I wanted Max to play, but two, I wanted to prolong the time. It was because it wasn't being written correctly. So I was like, no, I'm just gonna do it myself. But yeah, because we wrote down the points, I realized I didn't tell Max how to do it properly, and I figured, and then as I was doing it, I'm like, oh, this might make more sense. So if I just walk around and do it. But yeah, so what was going on in your mind when you found out the whole purpose or kind of twist at the end or reveal?
Irritating.
My God, dude, a stupid sentence, man.
It's semantics. It's all about semantics. I was irritated, I'll be honest. When it came, I was irritated because this seems to be a running thing in my life, and I have to understand and let it go. I am definitely someone that says something, and then it just goes over people's heads. And then someone else will say the exact same thing, and they'll be like, that's amazing. That happens all the fucking time in my life. So I said, like, I feel like there's more to this, and it's just kind of like a matter of how we're going to work together, how are we going to do this and that, and people were like, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, blah, 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 a.k.a. Koki. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then when you were like, well, actually, I never said there's a winner. I just said who's going to get the most points, and it was about how you guys are going to react. I was literally like, this is so stupid. And I think the best, let me start this. I was irritated in the beginning, and then I was very pleased in the end, because I saw fumes coming out of Koki's ears of how, like, he was wrong. Like, he wanted to admit he's wrong, but he was just kind of like, and you could tell he was like, I hate this game. I absolutely hate this game. And I was like, but that's life. And it's funny because Koki and I have been friends for years. I always tell him, like, stop stressing out about that, or stop getting so upset about this, why you get so mad about that. And this game put that into perspective for him. So I was like, yeah, you got your ass served to you on a platter, and then giving out his samples at Costco. But yeah.
That's it. Get your ass sample. Get your ass sample.
What about you, Joey?
Man, I told you, I felt dumb, man. I was like, wait a minute, oh my God. If we both chose black. But they chose red too in the beginning.
Okay, so I felt a little dumb because, like, you were repeating the first line of the rules where it's, the goal of the game is to get the most amount of points possible. You kept repeating that every single time. And I'm like, there's something there. I don't know what. And I'm like, this is a puzzle, and I don't know the answer, and I'm mad. But, like, I was like, you know what? Let's just play the game. And then, yeah, we were playing the game, and I think somebody did mention in our group that, like, what if we're supposed to work together with them? I'm like, okay, but how? Like, in my brain, I still didn't get it, but I was like, but how? And we still didn't get it either. Like, you know, like how we're supposed to work together when we're quote unquote competing.
Well, I think it did.
The thing that stood out to me in the rules was that if we both choose black, then we both earn points. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, so if we show them that we're trying to work together by choosing black, then maybe they will try to work together with us. That was my thought process. It was like, because we're like trying to anticipate like, oh, like who's gonna want to like get the most points. But then that's like the biggest thing that stood out to me is that we could still get points if we both chose black. And so it's like, okay, we can still get points together. How?
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Like when
No.
I understood it as if we both chose red, like no one moves. And then when I saw the negatives keep piling up, I was kind of confused. But I was like, no, I guess I get it. If they choose black, they're in a deeper negative. And then it's just, I should have kept that thought. That's it.
Wait, I have a question though. Because you said you kind of relied on Koki's interpretation of the rules. What did he say to you specifically about the points?
So he said, red, no one moves. Black, red, someone loses 10, the other gains 5.
It's negative.
Yeah. I thought one's negative, one's positive for BR. And then red,
You both lose points.
both, yeah, points.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna see.
I think it's the fact that we're split into two groups to the fact that one of us can go up and one of us can go down. That makes it seem like one of us is supposed to go up and then one of us is supposed to go down. But that was never stated. It was never stated that it was us against them. But the insinuation because one would go up if one goes down, I think that's where that comes from. It's like, okay, if we can go up and then they go down. So then it's like people think, oh, it's a competition. But that's not necessarily true. It's not, it's like,
It just says team A loses.
yeah,
Team B.
it's just the fact that there are two there, you think you're competing. But essentially, you're not.
It's kind of like that video or a meme or whatever I've seen where they're like, if you hit this button, we will give you $50,000, but one person you don't know dies. And people are like, if I hit it multiple, if I hit it multiple times, do I get 50,000 each time, or is it just the one? Like, you know, some people are just like, oh, I can't do it. Some people are like, like, you know, like that, like, can I get more? So that's what it came down to, really. It was just like, no. Koki was like, well, this is how you win points. Why would you choose black when you lose points or you only get 3? When you get red, you will always get 10. I was like,
I'm hearing Koki now, right?
okay. I mean, yes. I think what really got him upset is in the beginning, we all said, that makes sense. Let's go red the whole game. On the first round, we all said that.
Yeah.
And then on the second round, we're like, wait, yes? And then we did it again. And on the third round, we're like, wait, that's kind of boring. And Koki got mad. He was like, you all said yes, and now you're all saying no. And I was like, well, yeah, but I think it's just because it's just make it interesting. Like, that's kind of boring. I mean, we could say all red, and he's just like, I just find it funny that you all were on my side, and now you're against me. And I was like, no one's against you. I'm just saying, like, this is boring. So that's one thing.
Mel, she talked about how when we chose black, essentially we were like, we were either throwing the towel or we were trying to work together. I think she said something like that. And then she was like, well, then if they're gonna do that for us, then we should do it for them. Like if you back. Yeah, either give them points back or do them a solid, because like why, like they had no reason to do that for us. So it's like now I feel like I should, like, I'm not necessarily obligated, but it's like I want to get back. So I thought that was super cool. Yeah, Mel just said that.
I just said that too, but then Koki was like, no.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, yeah, I remember that and what Koki said, and I just remember saying, no one's wrong in this group.
Yeah. I remember.
It legit, Like, I think at one point someone said or 5 people said the same thing at different times, but confused at each other, and it was weird. It was really weird.
Semantics.
But yeah, I think by like round 5, I was just like, if we either go back to our usual strat or change it up. I mean, I guess we agreed on round 8, but for 6, 7, 9, 10, we're still like, do we still do our first strategy, or like, do we talk about it? Hit red, and then we
No,
talk about it.
We would choose red to buy us time because we couldn't decide. Oh, like a for sure answer. We were like, okay, fuck it, just choose red so we can talk about this more. So it wasn't like yeah, let's go red. It was like, no, we need to talk more. So just choose red for now. We'll talk about it later. So that's kind of what ended up happening until like the 6th round, 7th round.
Yeah.
And then we're like, wait, we should just choose black because I don't think this is right. And then Koki got mad. Then his head exploded.
But Emroy, I've experienced this game before. I realized that like after everything,
And we still lost?
guess where? Guess no, because
Get out of the car.
it's in an anime. In Classroom Elite, does anyone watch that? It's when the groups pick X or O, but there's a spy in one group in the show, and they're like trying to figure out, okay, well, the other team's guessing like the opposite of us. Why? And it's not in the point. I don't think it's in the point of view of the protagonist too. So you're just like, why are they losing? Why are they picking the other one? I think I have to re-watch it to confirm, but I think that's how it goes. So yeah, I've experienced
I
it.
think you should rewatch it so that you could learn something and we don't lose it.
No, we can. It's just called X's and O's.
But the thing is, your group won, technically.
Yeah, I had the point.
Technically, the other group pushed us to victory, because if you guys didn't choose
You're what?
black, we'd be at the least amount of points. Yeah. I whispered it to you. I'm like, so if we both just stayed stubborn in our first like strategy, we get the least amount of points available.
Yeah. Yes.
So it's a good thing to hit B's. But why?
What's the point?
What's the point?
Have you got tea?